Hey everybody, Natalie here for Cherry on Top, and this month on our YouTube channel we're going to focus on mini albums and anything that's not like a 12 by 12 scrapbook page. So for me, I wanted to do like a quick flip through of my first month of my memory planner here, and then go into the first week of February, and you can watch me do a quick little layout of memory keeping. So I use this Paper House Productions spiral planner, and I like it because I like to do vertical photos, and so it has these vertical things. So there are a couple of themed spiral Paper House Production planners in the Cherry on Top store right now. I just checked it out. But there's also happy planners, and you could even do this process in like a traveler's notebook. Basically, I leave all of the bigger events and milestones for my 12 by 12 scrapbook, and I put like almost like a project life kind of thing in here, but I typically don't work on it every day. I do like maybe a week or two at a time after the week has occurred. So let's flip through and you can see what I mean. So this is just the beginning. I found this free printable online, and it's filling the books on a bookshelf, so I'm kind of doing it in like a rainbow pattern, like backwards. So I'm working on filling that in. I did this with the balloon stamps from Concord and Ninth, and I basically I meant to do them on pages facing each other, but I poked the holes in the wrong thing, and by the time I finished I was like, I'm not going back. My goal is to send everybody a card this year, so I just did a rainbow of balloons and put everybody who's getting a card's name and birthday on there so I can remind myself. The first month of January has this like little pocket, and so I just use it to hold little notes or things that my kid put in. We got an invitation to Crazy Heat's toy show, so that's cute. It's just gonna go in there. So the first, at the beginning of every month, there's like a calendar view, and I actually do this at the end so I can go back and kind of just put random photos in that I didn't include in my weekly spreads, mostly because I like to do the long photos like this. I do a collage on a 4x6, and I do 3 of them, so they're roughly like 1.75, because there's a white liner all the way around, 1.75 inches by 5.75 inches. So some of these like won't conform. Like usually with side-by-side photos, I can't get everyone into the shots, so I include those on here. Funny memes that I have and whatnot. So I just threw them on here and used my handwriting and stickers. And I always like to include washi at the top of my page to kind of dictate a color scheme. So here's my first week. And the first week I wrote down like the books I was listening to or reading, and the TV or movies that we were watching, but I actually decided I prefer to do photos of those, so you'll see that later on. So basically I kind of let the photos dictate the color of my layout, and I pick corresponding washi and then just go with it from there. And it's not super matchy, but I just pick out photos for my week that will fit properly into this size of a photo. And then I like this die. It's a manual die. Sorry for the background noise, that's my dog. A manual die I got from Momenta, and it's like my favorite die, and it's super skinny, so it's good for layering. And I've kind of gone with a theme of putting that some phrase using that die cut on every spread. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep up with that, but right now that's what I'm doing, and I like it. So I basically put my photos down, I lay them out, and then I embellish, and then I do the journaling at the very end. So here's the next day. Oh, and also what I've been doing is taking the labels off of our bottles of wine, and I put them on a piece of cardstock or 2. This time I just backed it with some scrap cardstock. And then I have the planner punch board from We Are Memory Keepers, which is in the store too. And it comes with these circle punches, but you can also get separately additional punches. And so I have these 3, and this is, I think, for like the happy planner, and then this is like a large spiral, and this is a small spiral, and this is the one that matches this. So anything that I want to add that isn't going to be adhered down to the pages that already exist in the book, I can just stick on some cardstock and punch some holes in the cardstock, and boom, that's how I added those initial things at the beginning. So that's fun. I like to stamp in my planner, but it is hard sometimes. If like right here, I used a really dimensional sticker, and so it is kind of hard when you have something dimensional sitting there. So just keep that in mind. But you could always like kind of rotate your book and close some pages to kind of stamp more on like a flat surface if you need to. So this is when I started printing out like pictures of the books that I was reading and the shows or the movies that we were watching. And so those are kind of included over here, because the blank side over here is just says notes, and it has like a little calendar down here, so I don't need that on every week. So a lot of times, these are from Paper House Productions as well. I can just change up the type. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing wrong with the dates, but it's just fun to switch it up. So I laid out my photos, and they're pretty muted this week, so I went with like black and pale pink. And there's my words and some stamping and just little stickers. It's super fun. I'm loving this project, and I'm definitely glad I'm keeping it up. There again are the things, the layouts. I kind of let this picture dictate the colors with the pink, and so I went with the rainbow, and then I'm like, okay, we're going with light pink here because the Scrap Girls, I was listening to that podcast and they're pink, and it worked. So we have our TV here. I have a podcast I'm listening to. Sometimes my books continue on to the next week, so I had to find something to put over there. And just pictures of my boys and journaling. And here, neither picture was very significant. It was just like landscape shots from our yard and stuff. So I just layered them up a little bit, and I like the way that looks. And sometimes you'll see me print a photo that doesn't fit in this. It might go over 2 squares, and that's fine too. You know, just whatever looks appeasing to the eye. So this one, the layout, obviously the colors here, I was like, blue is going to be the color of this layout. And then I printed this of the show we were watching, which, by the way, if you haven't watched this on Apple TV, it is so good. Please go watch it. It's so feel good and cute and funny. So blue was the color. So I picked out a blue here, and I cut my letters out of blue. I've been doing a lot of baking, a lot of bread baking. So we were talking about that. And I picked blue for the background for our wine label. And yeah. There's that week, and then this is the last week of January, and it was kind of out there, but it had a lot of yellow tones with the picture, so I went like with the yellowy green color, and that worked out. Dairy Girls, Una Out of Order, good book. Wasn't my favorite, but it was good. Yeah, and so I just have a picture of my boy, our dinner, my new nephew pup, and something that I made that weekend. So for this wine label, instead of doing like scrap paper on the back, I just grabbed a die cut from my stash that is really big, and I'm not gonna use that on a page. So that's another way to just like fill in with die cuts that you probably won't use otherwise. So the next page is this, notes and reminders with an additional calendar. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna leave that blank for now, because something might come up that I want to put there. If not, I might just do, again, some die cuts and stickers and play around with it and put something pretty there. I might just put one piece of pattern paper there just to kind of go with the flow of the book more. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna leave it blank for now, and we'll see where we go with February, and then when we're done with February, we'll see what I want to put on there. So we have a blank slate here. I'm going to leave that clean until the end of the month. And here's my first week, which we have completed. I have already printed these photos. We watched Lupin. I was listening to this book, and I have a couple more photos. So let's get started. So I take a look at all my photos and trying to decide a main color. So I dumped out all this washi that I had on my desk and decided I really liked this black with pink florals because I had a lot of pink there in that one bigger photo. But I'm going to add additional washi to tie it into the red and pink colors. So there I am. I have it's the same size washi, but I ripped a big piece and then I cut it down the middle to make it smaller. And then I'm also going to hide the rough edge of that with a very skinny pink washi. And I love this type of memory planning because the layout is the same every single week. So you don't have to think too much. It gets done really quickly. And it doesn't really take away from my other, in quotes, more important scrapbooking. I did want to bring some more of the pink to that side of the page because there wasn't a lot there. So I die cut the word cool out with some snowflakes because we had kind of a snow day that Monday. And I did it in light pink to kind of tie into the other side of the page and to the top of the page. So I have adhered down. Well, actually, I'm not sure if I adhered down all of my photos. I think I did, sorry. But, and then I use my Nuvo adhesive for the super skinny pieces there. I do put a lot of adhesive on there because I want to because there's no page protectors. So now I'm just going through planner sticker books that I have. I have the currently reading sticker, and I have a little TV that's also pink. And now I'm going to pick out these days of the week just to change up the top part of my calendar, and it has black on it, so it kind of goes with that washi that I chose. And then I have these two little star checklist kind of things, and that is the way I like to rate my books and my shows. And so I fill in for the amount of stars that I give each of them. And I use that black bow to tie in the black down on that very bright colored photo. And let's see. Oh, I'm going to add in some blue snowflakes because they are wearing blue in the photo and it snowed. So I like the mixture of the pink snowflakes with the blue snowflakes. And then I'll add in a snowflake over here on the bread because it's cozy and it's winter, and it brings the snowflakes from the other side of the page to the right side of the page. So it's just like scrapbooking, but almost a little bit easier because you can keep the same layout, but you still use the same principles of design with like color, and 3 occurrences on a page is always a good amount. I use that I love you sticker next to bread because duh. And we're really about done. There's that pink weekend sticker. And yeah, I'm going to use those Valentine stickers a lot on my spread next week. I've already decided. So I filled in my journaling at the very end. I hope you've been inspired to work outside of a 12 by 12 layout, create a mini album, a memory planner. Let me know if you have any questions, and you can find me on Instagram at Delightfully Crafty, or search for my name, Natalie Dill, here on YouTube, and you can see all the other layouts and things I have on here. Thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.